morning and thank you so very much for choosing DGTV. We are glad that you are watching. My name is Joseph Okiyo and every Saturday, as always, we talk about career. This is to the Form 4s who are doing the exams. Probably you are wondering, perhaps if I finish here, what am I going to do? This show is just to educate you and to give you information on where to go after doing your classes in Form 4 exam. So perhaps you're there and you're confused which path do you want to take. Career Talk is here to help you get information in which part you want to go. Remember, this is DGTV, as I said earlier. You can interact with us on our social media platform, DGTV on Facebook, DGTV on YouTube, and all social media platforms. We are there, and you can also give us a call or SMS on 0791300105. Without much ado, we have Mr. Mwiruri, who is able to tell us what this ICT is all about. Thank you, Mr. Mwiruri, for finding time and talking to us.
Thank you, thank you.
You see, we have only snatched you with your busy schedule teaching and doing all those stuff. He's a lecturer at Uzuri Institute. Thank you so much again. Karibu sana, and let us start. What is this ICT that we are talking about while someone wants to choose a career path in ICT? Now, briefly, what is this ICT that we are talking about, sir?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joseph. When it comes to meaning of ICT, ICT has so many definitions depending on which area you're talking about. But generally speaking, ICT, this is information communication technology. This one is the use of computers and also the use of telecommunication, hardware or softwares when it comes to a computer system. And we can simply move or differ from IT, because IT doesn't have communication in it as much as such. You find IT talks about the use of hardware and softwares. Okay. But when it comes to information communication technology, it talks about the use of computers, softwares, hardwares, and telecommunication, all inclusive.
So that is fair enough. To that shosho grandmother, grandfather, whose son or daughter is like, daddy, me or mommy, I want to do ICT. To that person who needs to understand what ICT is, to that layman's language, what is that ICT all about? Okay,
when you're talking maybe ICT, maybe to the layman, using the layman language, or you're talking to maybe somebody who is very far at the village level, we can just simply tell them that ICT is generally the use of computers. The
use of computers.
Use of computers, yeah.
Fair enough. Now, let us go down into this. When a student comes, what are you preparing him or her to go down to start doing the ICT?
Okay, when a student joins us, especially in school, the first thing we normally give the student or tell the student is, first of all, to give them orientation. They start with orientation. This after they have joined the school. They are taken on an orientation part where they are trained, or they are being informed about various courses. They're informed about the course they have enrolled for, so as to prepare them for what they should expect in their career. Okay. So once we give them an orientation, then there is what we call the career progression, where as they continue learning, they are being guided on various ways on which career to choose, even if a person is maybe taking one course. Okay. Yeah, you can also take another course to boost the course that you are studying for.
Okay. Yeah. So when a student arrives, the first thing is all about orientation.
Orientation, yes.
Then what happens when a student comes in class? What are you going to take these students to an extent that he will be familiar with ICT?
Okay, since once the student gets in class, we assume he's very green. He doesn't know anything. So first of all, we take the student through our units, our courses, and we prepare the student psychologically of what the student is expected from us. And then once we take the students through the courses, through the units that we offer, then we prepare a timetable for the student. Okay. And this timetable is to guide the student in his or her studies, so that he doesn't find himself having challenges on what to do next, where to start,
away from class, being a multi-billion sector ICT, what is it that the change in advancement of computer and technology has affected a lot of things done during the old age to nowadays? What has contributed to that?
Okay, Mr. Joseph, as you know, in those early days, people used to use manual ways of working, manual methods. And since the introduction of ICT back in the early 1970s, you find that things have changed. ICT has really changed. People have now moved very far from manual to electronic systems. As you are aware, no any person or no any business can survive without ICT, because that's the backbone or the very, very important part that will enable the business to do what? To prosper or to grow. So ICT, if you look at most organizations, most companies, even the government, they have heavily invested in ICT, because as the world is changing, we reach a situation where we will use what we call modernized ICT, modernized technology, which will be able to make companies, people, be able to work well without any challenge. So a lot of money has been put to enable us to be able to work very well with the systems. Yeah.
With those systems put in place, the sector has grown and it is becoming bigger and bigger. Where do you see the sector in probably 2 years to come, 5 years to come, or rather 20 years from now?
Okay, from 2 years or from 2 years from now or 20 years from now, everything will be changed to artificial intelligence. That's where we are getting to. You find when you talk about artificial intelligence, this is the use of machines without the intervention of human being. You find a machine like a robot working very well. What only needs to be done is to program the machine. That's where the user will come in. But after that, the machine works like a human being. So in 20 years from now, we'll find everything will be digitized, everything will be computerized. Even the way we do things at home, you find most areas, most parts maybe of our machines at home will be digitally computerized. So if you go to supermarkets, you'll find they are still using computers, ICT systems, but still that's not enough. Maybe you reach a point where you'll have maybe a robot selling items, selling goods to you, maybe in 20 years to come. So it's changing, and as you know, the reduction of manpower will come. It will reach there, since we'll be able to implement ICT systems using these artificial intelligence systems.
Now, Mr. Miruri, how are we prepared, or how are you preparing the students to be sure that when these changes occurs, that they will be able to transact very easily from this point to another point without any difficulties? Yeah,
whenever we train our students, there's that particular part that we tell them about the emerging trends in ICT, what they should expect. So what we are doing, or what we normally do, we are introducing new systems. We are introducing new softwares, which are now becoming very important in the job market. They are becoming very important in the ICT sectors. For example, if you look at the artificial intelligence, we have some softwares which will help people to come up with systems, program systems, and let the system act like a human being. So what we are doing, we are telling our students that this is the way to go. These are the softwares to use. These are the hardwares to use. And then this is the way in which you can interact with a machine like a robot, so that you can be able to interact with it. You will find it asking questions. Then you have to respond to the questions the machine is asking you. So I see ICT growing very, very, very fast. And what I can tell our viewers, you have to acquire all what it takes to become an ICT expert. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Mwiruri, the ICT sector has been considered to those guys who are genius. Probably is there room for anyone, for me and every person who wants to venture into this career path?
Okay, yes, for right now, let us not say it's meant for genius right now, because everybody, every person is entitled for an ICT skill. So when we introduce ICT, or when you talk about ICT, we encourage people to at least have something, at least have a small skill, be competent in ICT. So what I can say is that any person who is planning to take this course or to study this course of ICT, you'll have to start just like any other person. And then as you grow, you'll still learn more skills in ICT. So it's meant for everybody, every person who has a passion, who has the will to study ICT. Okay. Yes.
Now, people are asking ourselves, or we rather ask, is there what we call self-employment opportunities in ICT, or rather you just study and get employed in big companies, supermarket and any other places? Is there opportunity for self-employment? Because rather that is where we're going now.
Okay. Yeah, as we speak now, most people are now working mostly in private sectors. Most people are also working at home. So we should not really say that there are no opportunities in ICT sector. You can employ yourself as an online project manager. You can also acquire skills in graphic design, where you can be able to come up with various brands, various company logos, various publications that you can sell to a company, that you can design for the company. So don't wait and say that you're going to be employed by the government, you're going to be employed by a private sector. You can also become your own employer. You have all what it takes to operate and use the system, operate and use the computer. So you can even start a business, you can start a shop, you can keep a shop where you can sell computer products. You can work online where you can be able to prepare or create projects for people who are willing to pay online. But one thing I need to tell you, Mr. Okiyo, is that people have to be very careful, because when you're working online, there are so many cyber crimes taking place. There are so many criminals who are taking advantage of people. So we have to really think when you're using online platforms. It's always very important to seek advice before you start using these online earning platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, and that is a good advice to our viewers and everyone who is watching, that you have to be very careful. Mr. Mwiruri, I don't have to let this go without asking you that the sector has come with a lot of challenges, and people are accusing the IT experts of rather there is job opportunities have gone are the days people used to be in the office and doing manual work, and nowadays it's all about computers, and people are asking the computers came and destroyed our job. How can you defend that?
Okay, whenever I talk about ICT, it comes with the merits and demerits. For the part of merits, that's the advantages or the benefits. As long as you have the skills, you can get a job. You can employ yourself. You know, ICT, once you have the skills in ICT, it will help you be able to run your own business. It will help you be able to manage your records. It will help you be able to sort your records in a company or at home. So one thing with ICT, it's very fast. The systems are running very fast. They're working very fast. You can't compare them with the manual working methods. Yeah. So with ICT, it's much more reliable, because as I said earlier, you cannot survive without ICT. And when it comes to the use of internet, communication is very important. And it has made people be able to communicate easily, no matter the distance. Like when you use emails, when you use social media, you're able to communicate very well. On the side of the challenges or first of all, for you to acquire ICT skills, you need to study. And that means you need to use resources, you need to pay.
Can someone just study by him or herself and qualify doing the IT, or you need to have an expert who is well known into this career path?
Yeah, you need an expert. You cannot say that you are going to study on your own. You need an expert to train you. And that expert has to be paid.
And that is why Uzuri is here.
Yeah, that's why Uzuri is here. That's why we're telling people, don't move around looking for so many places to study ICT. Come and join us, and we'll give you what it takes to become an ICT expert. Then on the issue of the demerits, we know ICT has also brought some issues here and there. Some people have been rendered jobless because what a machine can do, it can do a task for 10 people or 20 people. What will happen to those 20 people? Maybe only 2 people will remain, then the rest will do what? Will go home. So what I can say is that ICT, as much as we are saying it has really improved our lives, it has also some other effects, some maybe negative effects. People are using internet, and they are using internet for their own things. They are using internet for maybe watching unnecessary things online, which can affect them morally. So, and again, to begin an ICT business, you need to budget for that. You need to spend money for that. Yes, so we can't say it's not that cheap. Yeah, it's quite expensive somehow.
It's quite expensive.
Yes, but once you get the skills, it becomes cheap.
It is cheaper when you get the skills, and it is expensive while you don't have the skills. Mr. Mirori, thank you so much for that. Let me ask this industry is actually, this career path is actually getting along with other career opportunities like fashion and also. So it is necessary to have the skills in IT so that you can get along in other job opportunities around.
Yeah, it's necessary for you to have the skills, because if you look at other industries, take for example the hospitality industry, fashion industry, electrical industry, and cosmetology industry. They all need ICT. They must have ICT skills, because whenever you are making a garment, you have to design. If you are a fashion designer, you have to come up with a design that you are going to apply. You apply it practically, and that means you need a computer. You need a graphic design.
Sure.
If you are doing interior design, you need an application known as the ArchiCAD for that work.
So Mirori, my time is literally getting up, and I don't have to go without asking you this. Why should someone choose a career in ICT?
Okay, what I can tell my viewers, or our viewers, those people watching us, what I can tell any person who is willing to study ICT, it's the best. It's one of the most selling courses. It's one of the most used and applicable courses and areas. So I can tell a person that study ICT, and you are going to get so many skills, not only the use of computers, even communication, even telecommunication, even security-wise, because the system that we are having in place, they are all computerized. The security systems, the CCTV, the alarm, they are all computerized. So any person who has a passion to do ICT will have to learn all these things, and he'll become productive in the near future. So choose ICT, and you will not regret. And Uzuri is here for you.
Choose ICT and you will not regret, and Uzuri is here for you. That is from Mr. Edward Mirori, an ICT lecturer here at Uzuri Institute. Thank you so much, Mr. Mirori, for having time and your busy schedule of teaching and talking to us. Remember, this is DGTV, and the show on air is Career Talk. Always on Saturday, we discuss on career path that you need to choose. Remember, it is a great place for many reasons to do ICT. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to keep this conversation going on our social media platform, DGTV, or all over. An SMS line, as I said earlier, is 07 91300 105. From me, Joseph Okiyo, I leave you with these words that ICT as Mirori said, is a place to do or a place to go. Thank you so much. God bless you.